Stephen, we're here in Zagreb for another UEFA Youth League match. But before we even talk about that, the way this season's panning out for you and the boys has been sensational so far. What are your thoughts and your feelings about how it's going so far?
Yeah, the boys are in a really good place. We kind of set out some targets, some goals for them at the start of the season collectively as a group, and obviously having a successful campaign domestically and also in the UEFA Youth League was important. Some of the boys, it's their first period of time coming up with the B team, so it's a wee bit different from what they would kind of get when they come through the academy. Under 18s, we're trying to prepare them for our first team or somebody else's first team as well, to give them exposure and experience. So it's a wee bit different from what they've kind of been used to. But like I said, they've bought into it really well, and what we're trying to then do. Obviously, the first team is the ultimate goal for the players, and that's what it should be. But like I said, the way they attack every day at training, the fundamentals and how they work on a daily basis is what's the most important thing for them. And like I said, they apply themselves every single day, and so far they've got the rewards throughout the season. So far, it's only, like I said, we're nearly halfway through, so there's still lots of learnings, there's still loads of ups and downs for them throughout the rest of the campaign, but they're in a very good spot just now.
You're saying there, obviously, the purpose of it is to prepare players for the first team. Yeah. You've been there in the first team for Celtic as a winner, as a winner in Europe as well. So for you, seeing these boys going out and winning in Europe, they're through to the next stage already in the Youth League. What does that say about their character?
We speak about it, listen, winning's important. Of course it is. It's almost something that doesn't get spoken about a lot when you're in development football, but it's important as part of your development, as part of your DNA when you want to be successful at Celtic. But for us, the most important part of the development is the performance. So the performances have been really good, and again, ultimately, when your performances are good, that then a lot of the time gives you an opportunity to win more games than what you lose. What you get with the UEFA Youth League, this is my third campaign with the boys. And each year you've tried to learn, we've tried to figure things out along the way, because a lot of the boys haven't experienced this before. They miss playing against elite teams throughout Europe, so it's a fantastic opportunity. And like you say, when the first team qualify for the Champions League, this is what it brings for us. So it's a brilliant part of their development. They're facing the best young players at their age group throughout Europe. So again, that confidence that they get, that belief, and they need to feel these moments themselves if they want to try and get into our first team and compete with Callum and James Forrest and Cameron Carter-Vickers and guys like that. They need to get used to then playing against the best in Europe. They get that playing in this tournament, along also the domestic games, which is more about getting the experience of playing against men and trying to figure out different problems on the pitch. But when you play in the UEFA Youth League, it's certainly the best competition for this age group.
It's obviously, like you say, it's a wonderful opportunity to compete against, the best in Europe, as you put it. But not only that, they've also been winning against these teams as well. They've advanced through to the next stage. What does that say about the work that's happening in terms of in our academy at the club that were there, we're competing and winning as well at that level?
Yeah, it's a collective at our club, and don't underestimate the role that the manager and the first team staff play in this for us. They are, since the manager's come in, he's took a keen. He's wanted as much knowledge as the B team players they possibly can. John and Gavin have obviously been here for a long period of time now as well. So, and Adam's obviously come in at first team level as well. So everybody's got a real keen interest in how the B team are developing and how they're doing. And then on top of that, obviously, you've got Michael who's also extremely keen, and Peter still drops you a nice message here and there as well. But it's always to see how the boys are doing. So like I said, the boys need to feel these experiences. They need to know what it's like to play in pressurised situations. As a club, we play a certain style of football, which hopefully people can see when they come and watch us play, because it's, again, like I say, it's preparing our boys for the opportunity, hopefully at some point when they earn it and they deserve it, to go into our first team. But you're doing it against real top quality opposition. On top of that, then, because it's knockout football, it's a tournament, the pressure then becomes to win, and that's what they've dealt with very well. Our style of play hasn't changed no matter who the opposition's played. We went toe-to-toe with Borussia Dortmund in the first game, and it was Borussia Dortmund were by far a better side. But again, the boys learned from it. They never shied away from the challenge. We played the way that we always try to encourage the boys to play. And since that, every game they've developed. They've been tough games. All the games that we've played in so far have been really tough, but they've been a brilliant experience, and like I say, there's been lots of learnings to take for the players. And fortunately enough, we've won a few games along the way, which has put us in a strong position. Again, we've got one game left. This is again all the games away from home in Europe. No matter what it is, whether it's the Champions League, whether it's the Europa League, whether it's UEFA Youth League, they're very, very difficult games to play in because you're up against top opposition. Boys will be well prepared, as what we always are as a staff. We try and prepare them the best we possibly can, and hopefully that gives them the confidence to go and compete.
Well, we're obviously coming on now talking about the game against Dinamo Zagreb. Before we speak about the opposition and what we're expecting there, just in terms of still talking about your team, who have done obviously really well so far this season. One more game to go. They know they're already through, but it's obviously about trying to get up that table a little bit. But do you get the feeling with this group of boys that there'll be no complacency and they don't have a feeling that the job's done? They still know that they're going out there tomorrow to win?
With young players, you get ups and downs, you get inconsistency. That's what we're trying to get them at a level where you can be consistently, so that we know exactly what we're going to get from the players every time they go onto the pitch. Like I say, we prepare them the best we possibly can. The format this year is slightly different from what we've been used to, but again, it's a brilliant experience for them, and that's probably what I would emphasise the most. The boys know that the more games that you win, the more confidence it then brings you, but the more you then want to win more games as well, and that's the feeling that they're getting as young players just now. But like I said, the most important thing, we want to go and perform, we want to go and compete, we want to go and play the game the way that we try and play it every single game. Zagreb will cause us a lot of problems. They're a very good side, but we'll certainly cause them one or two problems as well. And like you say, the boys are getting into these games now because some of them have been involved in 2 campaigns before this campaign and last campaign. It gives them a lot of confidence, and you can see them starting to grow in the belief in each game that they've played.
And finally then, just talking about that game tomorrow, things are going really well domestically and in Europe for you and the boys just now. So how much are you looking forward to another test?
Yeah, but like you'll say, it's the next one's the most important one. It's going to be a different challenge for the previous games. The pitch will be a wee bit different for what it is at Lesser Hampden. We've been lucky enough to play the home games at Lesser Hampden this year, but it's a fantastic surface. It's terrific. This is again going to be a different type of pitch, so it could be a different challenge. But part of their development and the boys' development is they need to perform under different circumstances. They need to adapt. They need to be adaptable, and that's what we'll need to be tomorrow.